This collection of it's called Kulam B'Chachma. They collected here. I did it. Here you see, like sharp, kind of sharp, sometimes using, of course, stories with messages. So here's the story, friends. Rav Sholem Duber Gordon, this Rabbi, this is the senior, Sholem Gordon, was for many, many years shliach in Maplewood, New Jersey. It's shluchim of the Frierdiker Rebbe. From the first shluchim in America. Huh?
So first he lived in Newark.
Huh?
First he lived in Newark.
Newark, yeah.
Moved to Maplewood.
So he was the son of Rabbi Yochanan Gordon the Gabbai in 770. He was the son of him. His children were Allah Sholem, Josh Gordon in California. Many of you listen to his shiurim, most popular Rambam Chittas, listened to by hundreds of thousands every day. Wonderful Chassid, Shliach in the Valley. He has another son, Mendy Gordon, is Mashpia in London. The other children that he has. Yossi
from Australia.
Yossi in Australia, yeah. And then there's girls.
Nice.
He was a big chassid, very able person, beautiful tzir, from the first American boys, and he's American born, he was a little kid when he came here for sure, and he was so when he was the first on Shlichus in New Jersey, so he came there to be a Rav in a shul, not a Lubavitcher shul. So he finds out that the shul has a microphone. This was very common. Orthodox shuls that had microphones in the 50s in those days. And it was for the Rav and the Shamish. The Chazan also had a microphone where he davened. So he's trying to convince them, and he was successful to remove the microphone. But the Chazan was furious. Kofatz, Olav Roigzish, Chazan. And he says, these Rabbanim say it's mutter. And there was, many Rabbanim said it's permissible. And it was a from Chazan, it's a from Shul, Orthodox Shul. And he couldn't explain to the community that the heter is meaningless and it's not good. So what did he do? This is the 50s. He took the whole board to the Rebbe. So the Rebbe listens to all of the arguments and he said, it's a fascinating story because this is, the Rebbe's kula chesed, but when you need to give us, it's gifus. And this is the early days, you got to lay it down. If you don't lay it down clearly and put the foundation, you're in trouble. So the Rebbe said like this to him. The rabbis, obviously maybe Yiddish, English, that allow to use a microphone on Shabbos can be categorized into three categorizations. There's one category who knows very well Hilchos Shabbos, but they have no understanding at all of electricity. It's one category. Another category understand electricity very well, but sadly have no knowledge of Hilchos Shabbos. And there's a third category that understand and know neither electricity nor Hilchos Shabbos. I have to tell you, my friend Rebbe says with a smile, that with acknowledging all of my paucity, I know that with the grace of God, I am knowledgeable both in the laws of Shabbos and how electricity works. And on this foundation, I'm telling you explicitly that you cannot use a microphone on Shabbos. Okay, this they heard, and that was the end of the story. So sometimes, you get, humility has its place, but not false humility. And with all due humility, Rebbe said, with a smile.
Usually
I'm an expert in both.
When people ask the halacha question, we usually send them to
I
the
often
Rav.
sent to the Rav.
It doesn't make up psak.
So that's, tell you when, that's when there's, it's a nuance like this. This was a foundational thing in many shuls in America. The things he came out with were using microphones. It was common. And therefore, this was like a real big issue of Chilul Shabbos. Now the other issues
So when
too.
the electricity came out, there was argument if you're allowed to use it on Shabbos or
Yeah,
not. It went
yeah,
on
yeah.
for months, for years,
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
long
yeah,
time.
yeah. Now there's a new debate. It's the new lights.
Right,
Whatever, if that constitutes a fire,
right.
because there's no heat,
The LEDs.
there's no LED, there's
Yeah.
no heat,
Right.
and the
no
definition of
filament.
fire is heat. But it's a whole discussion.
Koyach.
Wonderful day, everybody.